Bonjour, Ola Dag Hashbrev Yakshimash. Sup, guys? What's up? Je suis Ali. My name is Alex. I am the CEO of Orca Oshi Capital Management, an alternative investment fund. Shout out to my partner, Rani, and an electronic dance music DJ. So, for those who don't know me, now you do. I'm also very enigmatic. I have pervasively insidious ADHD, PTSD, CPTSD, probably all the Ds. Anyway, let's get right to it. I'm calling bullshit on Buffett. And I have for quite some time now. And I, first off, do not want to minimize all of the accomplishments this man has had. Extraordinary investor, value investor, someone I very much look up to. However, I noticed that I would like to have a convo with Mr. Buffett. As someone who's been in Bitcoin since 2016, that means before Elon Musk, and we're going to look for lighting around here. So I noticed some things. Ooh, okay, we can go with that. That looks cool. Sorry, I have like one of those little ring lights. I don't know. We're going to just see which one works. ADHD, as I told you guys, it's a mother effer. So Warren Buffett called Bitcoin apparently rat poison. So I guess he meant cyanide. I'm not sure what rat poison is, truthfully, but maybe because I'm a millennial. We have exterminators. I know he's a little bit above, I mean, in age. I don't think they had exterminators back in his day. But nonetheless, he called Bitcoin rat poison. And all I have to say is I want to say about 2020, don't quote me, but fact check the fuck about it. Within the past 2 years, I remember saying, how can he be so anti-Bitcoin when he invested in Visa the same week that they launched their Bitcoin compatible card? That didn't make sense. And then, of course, today, somebody blew the whistle of an investment, or actually it was just being SEC filing, so not something too crazy, but I thought it was very interesting that for someone to think something is just absolute rat poison, quote, end quote, that he that's all. So I love it. I love these guys that are all about America and yet not, because they put like $1 billion in a different country and bank. And by the way, I love Brazil. Amazing people, the most beautiful women ever. So if you're from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, I love you. Amazing electronic dance music scene. Everything about Brazil, beautiful. Warren Buffett's $1 billion investment in the crypto-friendly bank, just as another one of his loving from afar. Let's just call it like that and keep it moving. I told you guys last time I talked to you guys, I predicted that the jobless claims would come out this week and they'd probably be above 200,000. I don't know if it was a lucky guess. Some of you were leaving comments and saying I was a mini Michael Burry, and to God bless you. He's neurodivergent, so I get it. We're both weird thinkers in the best ways possible, in my opinion, but 248,000 more people filed first-time jobless claims. We've been purging jobs so badly. We have gone from Steve Jobs to no jobs. Yikes. So we got to say yikes. We got to remember CPI 7.2, 7.5%. The Dow, 95, and I'm someone who loves blood. I don't know if you guys know the quote or not, but buy when there's blood in the streets. Under either one of them. I want to talk about Evergrande for a second, just to pivot to China, the real estate market. Evergrande is a lot like the Lehman Brothers, and I was blackout drunk in 2008. Okay, I didn't know shit. Still don't, of course. Always learning, because there's always are not being paid in the dollar. And aside from that, China has officially announced, and they kind of announce these all the time, that they're going to push away from the dollar to work with more Asian currencies, more bilateral currencies. Japan and South Korea reached a deal of $380 billion. So to me, as I've said, and as I will continue to predict that China wants to cactus fuck America, I would have to say more than likely I'm correct, because for them to want to work with neighbors to push away from the US dollar in trade and investment, yikes, they want to strengthen local currencies and get rid of the dollar. So I remember a time in my life where we used to kill dictators that wanted to drop the dollar. I mean, R.I.P. Gaddafi. He didn't even deserve it. Didn't even do really, like, he didn't do shit really. He just like said, I want the gold standard. And we're like, bye bye. Not a good way to do business, but also, what the fuck is this? America, if we want to remain the world reserve currency, I do believe we're going to have to go back on the gold standard and also make it digital. Hit me up if you're working for the Federal Reserve or MIT. I'm happy to help you coin develop, because we need all hands on deck for those that like to save America. Because here's the caveat as well. Just for those that want some recession, depression, tea, household debt has grown to $1 trillion. So yay, we're hitting more record highs. Yes, America. So we have what, $1 trillion in trade deficit. We now have $1 trillion in household debt. Guess what? That's the first time it's hit $1 trillion in household debt since, guess when? The Great Recession. And by the way, you guys, if you want to go fact check me, make sure to run terms like correction and like recession, even if they don't economically match up to the literal definition. Google doesn't like trigger terms, and terms like depression or overvalued or dropped. Those are trigger terms. Google algorithm will get them out. We have corrections. We just have like little corrections. And I cannot believe we have economists in $2,000 suits on television telling people to buy, buy, buy. That should be illegal. I thought giving financial advice was illegal. Maybe if it's because I own a fund and I'm a minority and I'm more scared about law being enforced upon to myself. However, if anybody is giving you any financial advice in this economic time we are in right now, run the opposite direction. Okay, please. Like Jesse Owens away from whomever is speaking and telling you to buy. Friendly suggestion, might I say. And also, in relation to bond yields, that's my personal, it's a recession indicator, if you will. When interest rates go up, bonds go down, the price. So just think interest up, bonds down, like ass, face up, ass down, like that type of thing. But interest rates up, bonds down in relation to valuation. I think we're going to see an inverted yield curve. It's a good predictor of a recession, depression. American's economy is stagnant AF, and I just wish more people would talk about it. I do have a literal question. If 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, why is my Instagram feed or social media feed, why is everybody seem to be living their best life in Oahu or in Mexico? Love Mexico. Everyone's in Tulum, literally. Or, I'm like looking through my feed. I'm like, Tulum. Okay, great. So if 80% is living paycheck to paycheck, then how is everyone, or maybe I just know all the right people in America. I highly doubt it. What do you guys think? Drop it in the C section. Let me know. How do you think these influencers, because I can tell you this, I know GMs of hotels. At one point in September, 1 out of 4 hotels in America were not current on their mortgage payments. Fact. The Fed we were talking about, some people have started to realize that the Fed had a meeting, but they're going, we have no idea what they met about. And I pull up my phone and I'm going, okay, I'm looking at the agenda. The agenda is the discount rate. Okay, great. I don't know. Again, this goes back to the stupidity of YouTube. And granted, I don't look, I'm not in the secret I did on Monday was the discount rates. Let's just go over them. Discount rates are what the bank borrow money. So the Federal Reserve lends money to the banks, discount rate. But if they raise the discount rate, that discourages the banks from wanting to lend. How that affects you? Well, that ends up causing your credit card to go up however the banks see fit. It's their choice. Their bank, their choice. So that's important because, again, I talk about rate hikes in March and 9th, I believe definitely 0.5. I can't believe people are focused more on rate hikes than they are actual stock valuation, because the data is so linear to 1929 and 2008. And I was blackout drunk in 2008. I wasn't old enough in 1999, but it's just, I don't know if that's just like the stereotypical Jewish girl in me, but if you're not using it properly to hedge against inflation is your purchase power of your USD, then it's not a hedge against inflation. So please don't say that. A hedge against inflation is going to help maximize the purchase power, or for $3 worth of Bitcoin. That would be maximizing your purchasing power if you're able to hold that. So unless you know the strategy, and again, I'm willing to discuss strategy with all of you because I love you all so much like friends, and I want everyone to crush it and kill it and get as much information out of this as possible. I'm still predicting $100 a barrel oil prices. We're getting there. I think they're $95. I believe mortgage rates for homes are going to go to 5%. Again, are seeing the water crisis. It's just that people are so compliant in America now. It's like they're like, cut back on 15% of your water. Cut back a little bit more. Okay, we'll do that too. Americans are not even asking questions. And it's even on the EPA's website from over the summer when there was a drought for the first time in the Colorado River. Nobody wants to talk about that. So water is going to be a hot commodity. There is an international water crisis. So forget just America. Let's think on a macro level. And let's just talk my favorite subject, the Middle East. You want to know where a microeconomic slash macro, really, really, really personal opinion, plethora is going to thrive, a mecca, but not literally. Well, I mean, could, but the Middle East. Israel, thanks to the Abraham Accords, Israel and the United Arab Emirates, the peace deal. Oh, I'm so excited about that because the from cybersecurity to the port city, just like the Greeks, because we can do a whole another YouTube series on China, and they're trying to acquire different ports strategically. And the Emiratis were like, nay, nay. And so, thank you. And also, as Israel being a blockchain haven, it's going to absolutely advance. 40% of Israeli blockchain startups are successful. So to be able to have multilateral deals going that are involved in digital currency, there's so much from tourism least, and I really look forward to that. So I wanted to jump on here after surgery, not talk too long, share the shit out of this, stream it, subscribe, like it, hate me, but by all means, please prepare mentally, physically, emotionally. This is going to kill anyone who is not prepared. Hypothetically, pay down your debts if you can possible, preferably before the Ides of March or sooner. Because again, the Federal Reserve made this very, very clear in their notations for their expedited emergency meeting Monday with discount rates for the banks. I'm not sure how long that process will take them to. I don't know if it's like a email blast. I'm going to guess not. I'm going to guess people like Jamie Dimon and David Solomon, the daddies of all daddies, the masters, the titans, probably get better deals. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this is just my completely making this up. It sounds kind of rational. I would think they get preferred just because they're preferred human beings right now in relation to existence. Goldman Sachs is the daddy of all daddies of investment banks. And JP Morgan Chase has been an extraordinarily well-run machine thanks to Jamie Dimon. He is a brilliant-minded man. And again, TARP is something very important. If you don't know about the Troubled Asset Relief Program from 2008, we're in a whole different ballgame though, because what could happen too, and our Federal Reserve has made such a bad policy error. Again, I want Alan Greenspan, the master godfather of all the daddies. Mr. Greenspan, please come and just teach them how it's done, because he had chutzpah. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, all right, okay, I messed up. So what? We move forward in finance. We we just move forward. We learn from it. We move forward. Alan Greenspan was so brilliant because he was able to work with everybody, and he knew how to truly monitor the monetary supply, whether you agree with policy decisions or whatnot. Guidance. So let's get rolling. And I really just admire the fuck out of that man. I would love nothing more than to meet him. He's my hero. So if anybody out there watching this knows him and could just make that happen, so I could just tell him how much I also would like to shake their hands and thank them for existing, because I've learned a lot, whether it be reading their books, watching their interviews. And for all of you guys wanting a good documentary, HBO Panic. It's very, very good. You can find it hypothetically on YouTube. So I love you. And habak jitim te amo. Bisu besu bachi. I'm out. And again, let me know in the section what you guys want me to talk about. We could do more focused. I can do specificities in relation to how to move money digitally and a lot of more fun stuff. Into the fourth industrial revolution. If you've not read Klaus Schwab's book, he's the creator of the I'm going to say Davos, the World Economic Forum. There we go. Bingo. Author of the Fourth Industrial Revolution and the Great Reset. You can get copies if you want them. Drop your name in the C section. I will email you copies of the Fourth Industrial Revolution and the Great Reset. Compliments of moi to you, so we can all be educated together. And so, peace, love, unity, respect, and habak shatim te amo, bisu besu bachi, and I'm out.